there's people who speak and who know Arabic very, very well and say that the text does in fact say, and they can tell you the school of thought within Islam that they're pulling from, which are trustworthy schools of thought.
Yeah, and
That
I can.
people are
There's other
trustworthy that
sides
say that
too.
it says it's the backbone of believers.
Yeah, and there's sides that are can pull from other schools. It's like it's I heard both sides. I don't know necessarily which one. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I just heard both sides, and I don't have the answer for that.
Okay, so let's go with another one then. What is an unborn baby inside of a woman's womb? What would that be called?
An unborn baby inside a woman's womb,
Yeah, like when they're first being
like a
created.
fetus.
Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Do you know what the Quran calls it?
I'm gonna remember. Lump of clay.
A blood
Lump.
clot. It calls it a blood clot because it was believed back in the day that it was simply a lump of cells, blood clot, instead of it being called a fetus. Because again,
But
that was the science that was known back in that day.
what science did they? What science did they have back then? How could
Exactly.
they?
They didn't, exactly. They didn't have a whole lot of knowledge in the scientific
But how
era
would?
as far as it goes to physicality. Hold on one second. As far as it goes to the physical makeup, they didn't have a lot of knowledge. So the Quran is based off the limited knowledge that they had back then. So it goes to show you that it couldn't have been from God because don't you think Allah would know how he created us and he would know that it's not a lump of blood clot or anything like that, rather that it's actually a human life, a fetus?
I agree with you 100%. I would agree with you for everything you said. I read the Quran. I don't remember reading something that said blood clot, unless you have the verse for me. Also, you're right. They
Yep,
didn't
hang
have
on,
a
I'll
lot of.
Google it for you.
I agree with you again. They didn't have a lot of science. My question would be, how would they know how like the sperm with egg forms, all this stuff? How would they know without microscopes? How would they know? Like, how would the prophet know
That's what I'm
without?
trying to say. The prophet wouldn't know. See, this is the thing. The prophet wasn't speaking of his own accord, correct? It was Allah coming
It was
from
the
an
word.
angel that was, it was the holy word, correct?
Correct.
So that means Allah got it wrong because it wouldn't have been Muhammad putting in his own thoughts and ideas or knowledge. It would have been from Allah. So Allah didn't even know that it's a fetus and rather than a blood clot.
I mean, I agree or disagree until I see the verse. Unless you like show me where it says blood clot, because I don't remember reading blood clot. Unless you
23:14.
23:14. I have a English translation. I'm gonna go see it right now. Okay, I'm gonna start
Yes,
from.
thank you, Thrayle.
What is it? 23:14. You said 23:14, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll read from 12. And indeed, we created humankind from an extract of clay, then placed each human as a sperm drop in a secure place. Then we developed the drop into a clinging clot, then developed the clot into a lump of flesh, then developed bones out of this lump and the clot. Then loaded the bones with flesh, then we brought it into being as a new creation.
Clinging clot.
Yeah, clinging clot. You're saying that's a blood clot?
In several other translations, it would be blood clot,
I don't think so.
like substance. You said don't assume because you're looking at another translation. Just don't assume that translation would say
I mean, regardless, like maybe you have some translation that say that, but even if you look at the context, like where would you have a blood clot exactly? Where would the blood clot happen?
in,
When
what
you
does it
put
say?
eggs and sperm together, it does not create a blood clot. It is far from it.
how is an embryo developed?
There's the whole process, but it's not. It doesn't go straight from a clump of cells to bones sticking out of its flesh thing.
No, it doesn't. I agree.
Is it saying that the sperm becomes like it just goes in there and
It says the sperm is dropped into clinging clot. So maybe the clinging clot in the egg.
it says it's formed.
The,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
And indeed, we create humankind from an extract of clay, then place each human as a sperm drop into a secure place. Then we develop the drop into a clinging clot, then develop the clot. Into a clot. So what I'm assuming the clot at this
It says
point.
develop. It says develop. It doesn't say insert or implant or anything. It says develop.
Oh, yeah, then we develop the drop into a clinging clot. Develop the clot into a clot. So maybe when the sperm and the egg come together, that might be the clinging clot.
The spore is developed. Turned into a sperm, which turns into
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think the Quran is trying to be like give you like the whole process, like the exact process, like the scientific process like we have now. I think it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
why
don't.
wouldn't it? Think about that. If Allah is giving you scientific
Yeah.
reasoning on how someone is born, why would Allah use words that are attributed to our physical makeup rather than a clinging clot?
Because it's not for us to say. It's like telling God, like, why don't you come down and show your face? Why you have to send a message through Moses?
So the Quran is not scientific.
And who says it has to be scientific? The Quran is
Because
just
it's
a
scientifically wrong. It's scientifically wrong, so therefore it's not accurate. Wouldn't you rather have a book that is accurate, not wrong when it comes to science?
but the Quran is not here to be scientifically accurate. The Quran is here to prove the
I
existence
mean,
of God.
but you said that the Quran is true.
Yeah, I believe the Quran is 100% true.
So if it's 100% true, that means that even science would argue that you're scientifically accurate.
Not necessarily.
So
You
How?
so
No.
you would tell a lie.
no, not necessarily. So you basically want the beginning to end of the process of human creation.
No,
It
so
doesn't give you
Scratch that off.
In what way is it true that a sperm comes from clay?
I can see why you're asking that. I don't have an answer for that.
That's
So
fair to
how-
say.
I mean, if we were made from clay, if like our original human being was made from clay, you can say we all come from clay.
But there wouldn't be sperm coming from clay.
No, but it can reference just like the beginning. We all come from clay. The original human being was created from clay, so
So-
we come from the original human being.
So how does
Beliefs of Christianity that anyone can be a son of God?
I can't. So how does this we'll go past the clay aspect here. How does the sperm become clot?
That's the thing. I don't. See, I wish I could read Arabic because I want to know what I would have the same question as you. What is clot in the Arabic?
So you don't know. So okay,
No.
cool. So how does this clot then become flesh with bone?
Well, it says it's a lump of flesh, which is very true.
Oh, a
Before
lump
the
of flesh
yeah,
with bone.
that does happen before the baby's born. It's literally a lump. I mean, before it's formed, it's a lump of flesh, and then slowly
So
the bones and everything start forming.
it bones the bones don't start forming until much later. But like how
It start from the lump of flesh. It gets small flesh, and then it grows. It gets expands, and then that's where
it
organ.
gets
Yeah,
flesh and then the bone appears.
a lump of flesh.
Right, a lump of flesh. It gets flesh, and
Uh-huh.
then bones just automatically appear.
Well, it's I would the process I would say organs and the bones inside that little lump of flesh and it starts to expand.
And we've discussed how none of that is like at all according to the updated science on the topic,
Why?
right?
Well, so what is how is the updated science? What does the updated science say?
What do you think? What do you think one of the first things to develop is?
Maybe your organs. Or I would
No,
assume. What is it?
it's the electrical. Like it's like basically not even. It's the rudimentary forms of an electrical system. It's why like a lot of places, like for instance, I live in Texas and we have what's called the heartbeat bill. It's because they determined that at 6 weeks you're determining a heartbeat, but in all actuality, it's an electrical impulse system that's happening.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
it's the heart that forms first. Yes.
and
So
then,
the heart that forms. So an organ forms first, like as I said.
well, first it's the electrical impulses.
Okay.
Then it's then the heart, and by like week I think 11, you finally have a central nervous system.
Okay.
So bones aren't until way, 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 way later than that,
Yeah. Okay, I
because
agree with
other
you.
things are formed. So the thing is that it doesn't say like I would even probably argue that this quote unquote flesh that you keep on wanting to a clump of flesh that you keep referring to,
Yeah.
like it's not. It doesn't like there's no automatic clump of flesh then bone. It's a lot of other things are formed before then. So, as I said, we've established that scientifically speaking, the Quran does not give an accurate view of how that how that goes.
I don't know. I have to check that. I'll be honest.
Well, I'm
Also,
glad that I'm glad that you said that you'll check that. I'd like to address one other thing, if I might.
go ahead,
So,
Candace. I'm sorry.
no, 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 you're fine, Hammy. You were doing great. Very true on what develops and stuff. So, if well, let's move a little bit outside of the Quran now, and let's talk about Muhammad himself, because people are calling, peace be upon him. I tend to say police be upon him for this very reason, being that he married
I think we should be very
uh,
respectful.
well, I am being respectful. I could say a lot worse. Um, he married a 6-year-old and consummated that marriage when she was 9.
Okay.
And we have Aisha's words to verify this.
Hmm.
It's her own words that are stating she's playing with dolls while sitting on his lap. If you know anything about SA and when it comes to children, that is one of the things men tend to do is sit the children on their laps. And the thing of it is that by culture, when a woman was to be married, she was no longer allowed to play with dolls. And Aisha states very clearly that Muhammad sat her on his lap at 9 years old, so while she played with dolls, which would have been prohibited. I've heard reasoning that, well, Muhammad was just being kind and considerate towards her. No, he was trying to distract her from what he was presently doing to her at 9 years old. How does that sit with you? How do you call this man holy when he has engaged in sexual relations with a 9 year old?
Okay. Okay. So the age thing. Okay. So if what you say, I mean, okay, for the age, if he really was that kind of person, first of all, instead of waiting till she became 9 years old when she had her menstrual cycle, he would have just consummated the marriage at 6. But no, he waited till she became 9. First thing. Second
What
thing,
you're saying to me
if
is, Seiko, is that
Not
you
helping
would
yourself.
have relations with a 9 year old.
No,
if
that's
she had
not
her
what I said.
period.
That's not what I said. I said
Well, you're condoning it.
if
You're
no
saying
no
it's
no
fine.
nobody, you're saying things I didn't say. I said if he really was that, he would not wait 3 years for her to hit her menstrual cycle. He would have just went with her at 6 years old. Second of all, if he was that kind of person, all his wives would have been at that age. Aisha was the youngest out of all. His first wife was 15 years older than.
Do they not like the whole entire thing here is that one of the biggest reasons to have multiple wives is to have multiple children, correct?
Multiple wives have multiple. No, not necessarily.
I mean, that's so if you like, I'm sorry, but as far back as I've known throughout history,
Yeah.
before the concept of modern medicine, the biggest reasons why people have a bunch of sex and a bunch of children was because the mortality rate was so low due to the fact that most children did not make it out of infancy, and then possibly even childhood at that point. So you had multiple kids in the hopes that one of these children, at least one, would survive to adulthood. Because once they made it to adulthood, they were expected to make it to old age. So, in a culture where people can have multiple wives, is not the main reason to have multiple wives, not to have multiple children.
No.
How is it? So you're saying that all of history is wrong because of what reason?
Yeah, because not necessarily. Because if you want multiple children, you could have multiple children with one wife. You don't necessarily need more than one wife to have multiple children.
If you're so like, let me ask you this: you and I are travel back to 1600s.
Okay.
We have no access to modern medicine. I have one wife. You have 7.
Okay.
Which one of us is going to have the better? Which one of us is going to have the more likely outcome of having at least one child make it to adulthood? You or me?
I mean, depends. It depends, and like if you
Like,
you could have one wife with 12 kids. You can have one wife and have 12 kids.
All other with everything else being equal,
Okay.
which one of us has the greater chance? You with 7 wives or me with 1 wife?
You're giving me it's such a big example. It doesn't work.
How does it not work?
Because you can have one wife and you can have multiple children with them. I can have 7 wives and have one kid with one woman. It doesn't necessarily mean each wife that I have to have kids with them.
So
and let me give you the reason why.
Awesome, great. Tell me what was the reason to have multiple wives back then?
Okay, so obviously I don't know if you guys know, but Muslims are allowed to have up to 4 wives. And there's conditions there. You're only allowed to have 4 wives.
I don't know. I just want to know what was the reason for having 4 wives.
Okay, so during that time, during the Prophet's time, peace be upon him, when they used to go to war, right? A lot of the men would not make it back, right? So a lot of these women that were married to these men would become widow, and God saw this, so the verse came down where it allowed men to marry those widowed people. So only if you are able to take care of them and treat them like you treat your first wife and support her in that way. So
cool.
Instead of all these women becoming widows
Seiko,
with the
Seiko, that does not tell me what the reason for having multiple wives is.
I just told you.
That tells me that that tells me that if there was a widow, you could marry her. That does not tell me the reason why you are allowed to have multiple wives.
You're able to, that's what God said. You're able to have multiple wives if you can take care.
You're able, not why.
Why does it have to be a reason why?
That's saying you can have them, but that's not telling me why.
I just told you why.
No, you didn't.
I told
you just told me they can.
They can because during that time, there was a lot of widows, a lot of men not making it back. So instead of them staying by themselves, no one to take care of them.
Widow?
So the reason
why
widow?
Wait. 6 years old.
Oh, yeah. Was Aisha a widow at 6 years old, is what he asked you.
Was Aisha a widow at 6 years old? No, she wasn't a widow. She was actually offered to the Prophet by his closest companion.
So why was she
By
offered?
his closest companion.
Yeah.
Why was she
It was
offered?
Why? Huh?
Was that her father?
Her father, yeah, offered her to the Prophet.
So why was she offered?
That's what her father wanted for her. He wanted her to be with the Prophet, peace be upon him.
So the reason for he already had a wife, right?
Yeah.
So then you just told me that the reason why he could have multiple is because of widowing. So then who was she widowed to?
No, that was one of the reasons. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can only marry widows, but you're able to have 4 wives if you can take care of them.
So then why would you have more than one wife?
I don't see a problem with that.
No, I'm
I
asking
really
you
don't.
because like if you want to have more than one, if you are in a country where you're allowed to have more than one wife, but hey, more power to you, my man.
Yeah.
You do you. I don't care. What I'm asking you is what back then was the purpose of having more than one wife?
I said it to you.
And you said it was because of widows.
That was
So,
when the
that
verse
means-
came down. Also, there's a lot of political reasons. And the Prophet Muhammad used to marry wives of kings. I mean, not wives, daughters of kings, for like political reasons, to keep peace amongst tribes and stuff like that. It was political. Obviously, if you can also take care of someone, I think it's moral, in my opinion.
As a wife, you're to have specific wifely duties, correct?
Yes.
What are those wifely duties?
As a wife, I think treat her husband with respect. I think just like the basics, do the right thing, take
I
care,
just want to
be able
state
to
how
support.
thoroughly disgusted I am with this guest. I can't
Oh,
contain
I
it any
am
longer.
too.
I'm sorry.
Disgusted.
I am
Why
too.
are you disgusted?
Because you
It's
have defended marrying a 6-year-old just because she was offered up as some kind of like precious sacrifice to the precious Muhammad. Like it's just absolutely mind-boggling how in today's day and age, with what we have going on in the world, that could even be considered remotely okay, and that someone would follow a disgusting excuse for a man. I'm not going to call him a man. I'm going to call him a thing. An excuse for a thing and follow this person or anything that they even said because of what he has done in the atrocities that he has committed, like essay against a child.
I think it's wrong to use today's time for the past. I mean, time has changed, and obviously the
Exactly.
age.
So get with the times. Get with the times then,
Yeah.
and
So, but
realize
why are you
that you're
using
following a
today's?
man because you're following a man who's absolutely disgusting
It
and
was different times.
who deserved unalivement.
is
Okay, I think you're using today's rules for back then. I don't think that's very fair.
do morals not come from Allah?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So if something is wrong today, that means that to Allah it was wrong, right?
Yeah, I think morality. I think it's.
So
Yes.
then, if child essay is wrong today by today's moral standards, that means it's wrong to Allah, correct?
Yeah.
So that means that back then it would have been wrong to Allah as well.
Okay. So what? In your. Okay, for you, what makes a child? What is a child to you?
Child.
Holy fuck.
Are you serious? Are you fucking
Holy fuck.
serious?
I think
fuck.
did my brain just short circuit?
I just asked you a simple question. What is a child?
I just skipped the poll. Sorry, guys. I was
Thank
going to
you.
give you guys a chance
No,
to vote in the
thank
poll.
you, Thrayle.
Thank you, because I did not see any way of not getting pissed off.
Apologies to
question.
the two that did vote in that poll.
I had to personally just not be involved in the conversation. I was feeling so ill.
Like I literally, like, I'm not kidding you. Like I could literally cry thinking that there are still men, it's things that think like this, that think it's okay just because it was back then. Well, they still do it now. I have Islamic family that lives down the street, and he walks with his three wives and their children in front of my house, and I smile at them, but I'm just like, how old were they? Because one of them looks super young. And I'm like, she doesn't even look like she's past 18. Like, how is it? And I'm not going to judge because I don't know that my daughter looks like she's super young and she's 28. But like, how is this? It's still going on today. It's still happening today in other countries. It's just, it's reprehensible.
I agree. I agree with Dagobah Dave in the chat. No matter how much of a libertarian you are, 9 as a child. Like, there have been people who are arguing raising the age of adulthood to higher than 18. Some who have discussed possibly lowering it to 16. And the thing is like, I don't think, like, anybody, like, even in those situations where people have discussed lowering it to 16, I'm pretty sure that even in those people who think that that should happen, if you ask them, where's the cutoff? They would definitely not say, well, I think we should lower it to fucking 9.
The gymnastics people have to pull to kind of justify that to themselves. It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I just, I'm glad, Thrayle, that you dropped him when you did, because I don't, like, my brain short-circuited for a second because of the stupidity of the question asked to me. But all I saw from that point on was it getting increasingly more violent on my end. And yeah, I'm just glad you ended it when you did.
I barely contain my disgust for it previously, and then to hear it ask, "What is a child?" That is just, uh, it's just beyond comprehension. At like, no, thank you, girl. I support you 100% in dropping it.
Yeah, I normally would let somebody at least get to the end of the poll. Once I've decided to do a poll, but I just couldn't stomach going further down that weird defense. It's a strange thing to defend. I understand. I can understand if you have a belief system and you're going to hold to it, trying to find some reason why your flawed prophet is, allowed to be flawed within that system. I don't understand defending every one of his actions, especially when they fall into that realm. That's disturbing.
It's because of the way that belief system, specifically Islam, locks all of its other things into place, claiming that they're all contingent upon each other.
Right. And I can understand. I don't know. I just can't understand defending that. There's so much I can understand when it comes to belief systems and holding on to traditions and upholding antiquated ideas. I think it's ridiculous. I, I just, I can't understand when it flies into the face of what, I mean, how can he not recognize that
of
that is
human decency.
wrong?
Yeah. And I think the biggest issue is, I mean, Islam, the word itself means like servitude, like complete surrender, which means it's you don't think, you just do what it says. And that means that everything that it says is completely immune from what you think, which is the issue.
It's one of those things where it's like, this is a religion who claims to have the truest of the true statements.
Right.
And that there cannot be anything truer than what this says. And whenever you come across these things where people say, show, oh, well, this is some morally error, fucked up shit. They have this bit of cognitive dissonance where they have this position that this is the truest of the true stuff to this is wrong. And it's just this mindfuck within them that they then spew out trying to find some way of justifying it. You're getting an echo and feedback from you, Fibo. Fibonacci.
Sorry
It would
about
be
that.
Fibbo, my bad.
You can call me Fib, you can call me Flux, whatever you want, it's fine.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
And don't call me Shirley. You surely can question your beliefs. Request on up.
Surely there's nobody who can do that. We've done all of the questioning. There's no questions left. And no.
That was a really good segue.
questionings. Who can
But you guys
question?
missed an opportunity
We missed an opportunity.
to ask him why God hates happy people.
Wait, why God hates happy people?
Oh, the old colloquial term for being happy. Feel pretty and witty and...
No. That's not what I'm talking about. No, it
Not
says in the
that.
Quran that God hates happy people.
The word for happy is used to imply something else, at least according to many interpretations, but it is just the word for happy.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about.
But it's similar, but it's not the same meaning. It's, in this case, it's boisterous or boasting.
But
Is
it
it-
does literally say that God hates happy people.
Is it the same word that I'm thinking of where I feel pretty, oh so pretty and witty
No.
and...
No,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what Fib was
that's-
thinking. That
That's what I thought it was, but they clarified that's not
Me
it.
too.
no, this is the word used means happy, but it also is implied to mean boasting, celebrating. It's celebrating people.
So
That
this
would
is
that
why,
would be
this
in
is why
antithesis
this...
to
But it doesn't literally say happy, as Mateo's
Yeah, it
pointing
does literally say
out. That is
God
the
hates
word.
happy people.
So this is why Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate their birthdays.
What's
Well,
Jehovah?
I don't know why that is relevant, actually.
Don't point it out, Kat. Just go with it.
Just don't think about it too hard and it'll make sense.
Yeah. See, if you close your eyes and ears, it totally makes sense.
if you just don't think about it, totally reasonable. 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
And that is the opposite of what we're trying to do here. We want you to think about it, so don't encourage that.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna get to my gate now. It was a pleasure being up here again. Thank you for having me up, and love you all. Hi Kat. Bye Hammy.
Hi,
Bye
Candace.
Fib. Bye, see you
Candace.
guys later. Mwah. Bye. You can drop me. I dropped myself last time by accident. Sorry, you
Gotcha.
drop people.
Take care.
Thanks, honey.
Thrayle, isn't it funny that God hates all the things that I hate?
Is that funny, or I mean, just what you decided about God?
Isn't it funny that God hates all the things that I hate?
Why is
I
that
didn't
funny?
decide that. It's funny because it's so coincidental that God
Are you
hates
saying
all the
that you're
things that I
God?
hate. God works in mysterious ways, don't I?
I think what he's pointing to is an absurdist view that naturally all the things that you think God is are the things you already agree with.
I think Hammy also hates happy people, is what I'm understanding. So.
I
So he's
mean,
trying to make sure that we're not happy.
Wow, Hammy.
it's not incorrect. I remember I was on a short flight from Georgia up into to Charlotte, South Carolina, and my
Nope, wrong.
host or
Why are you
North
wrong?
Carolina, whatever. There's a big city in South Carolina, I want to say, that I flew to, but it could have been Charlotte, North Carolina. Regardless, I flew to this city. It was a 30-minute hop, and the flight attendant, she was overly happy and cheerful, and I didn't like it. I was very distrustful of it.
I think there's a difference between distrusting like disingenuous general chirpiness and distrusting happy people in general.
When happy people come around me, I tend to frown.
You wouldn't have a moniker of bozo or sad face or something like that, would you?
I've been said that my normal face, my resting face, looks like I'm a dick.
You've got
So,
RDF. Me too. It's okay.
yeah, I got resting dick face. Yeah.
Same. It's all right.
Can you guys hear that jackhammer?
No.
Okay, good.
I can hear the normal background music, and what it sounds like is a little bit of like knee slapping, banjo strumming good time in the background, but that's about it.
Knee slapping, banjo strumming, good time.
Sorry, my cat is hijacking my arm. Yes.
I guess my neighbor decided today was jackhammer day, so that's
Now
why.
I hear it.
Yeah, only when you speak do I hear the jackhammer.
Interesting.
That makes sense. If you have noise cancellation in your headphones, it would eliminate that sound unless it was overbearing your own voice. Yeah.
It was still recognizable as a jackhammer, but it was very low.
I do have a
Oh,
question
that
here.
was beautiful, Cassie.
Just regarding, I think Colin was the gentleman who was up here before who kept talking about spirit and never defining it.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a difficult time getting him to sort of stick to any solid definition. I don't know if that was me partly being at fault for trying to kind of quarry him or corral him in, but he was definitely struggling with staying coherent.
Yes, there was a lot of thoughts and
Like,
prayers in his definitions.
yeah, there's a lot of herding cats. I'm not sure where we were going from there. It was kind of difficult. Cat doesn't show his teacup for me.
Well, she's not teacup now, but whenever I heard a faint cat voice, It was while she was teacupped.
Oh, strange.
They're not backwards.
The only cat I currently hear is mine. Hey, don't disconnect me from the live, please.
She's also having whole Wi-Fi issues right now, so.
Yeah, that does seem to be a bit of an issue for Cat.
Mainly right now is because she's away from her Wi-Fi, but.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, probably up. That's not a place we step.
There's no Wi-Fi here.
There's no Wi-Fi there, Cat?
Her Wi-Fi is at her house, and she's clearly out and about.
Now, is she out and about or out in a boat?
No, I'm at my house.
Oh, okay.
Somebody was jackhammering over by your house.
They're my neighbor.
She did say it was her neighbor. I don't know why that left my mind.
This mystery is fascinating. But what I really like to dig into and start questioning is a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or really anything like that. And if you have such a belief in a god or a Sasquatch or a mermaid or some kind of cryptid life form or afterlife, I don't know. If you've got that kind of belief and the ability to question it, then go ahead and request up. I'm not here to debate you or argue. I just want to know if you can question your beliefs. And if you can, then what is that belief? And why do you believe it?
Oh no, my friend is gone.
Where'd your friend go?
He's a busy man. He must be either somewhere else on TikTok.
You don't have friends.
I have a friend. Thank you.
Yeah, they're right here.
The only quote that can come to me when somebody says something like that is, I don't even own a gun, let alone enough to necessitate an entire wreck. Little Wayne's World.
He's a busy man.
Oh, what time is it?
It's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Thrayle, a busy man. He's probably off on some other TikTok live or doing his doctorate stuff.
Oh, I know which friend. Yeah, he was here earlier. Rachel says that I may have the gods in the shed, but I don't have the ghosts. Rachel, come bring your ghosts up here. Let's, question them.
Let's get Hazel in there. Hazel's got some ghosts.
I'm also friends with someone over on YouTube who goes by the name of Iron Charioteer.
Interesting. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing?
Hi, Thrayle. I'm good.
And I know the answer, but can you remind us your age for TikTok TOS?
28.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
Not gods, but ghosts I still got.
What happened
Well, about a year ago, I joined this really neat live called the Batcolyte. And I got questioned for like 5 hours straight and realized I couldn't come up with a feasible answer in my own head to why I believed what I was holding on to. And that started a dismantling process of picking through those beliefs and really looking inward to why I was holding on to them.
So, let me see if I'm getting this correct. You had gods, and then you critically thought them away.
Correct.
Okay, I'm tracking. Awesome.
Deconstruction, if you will.
So you're not saying that like there was any like burgling necessarily.
No, I'm just joking when I say you have my gods in your shed.
I'm sorry, Thrayle. Is this... This has to be addressed. Is this you with a sack where you are burgling gods away?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't see anything.
Don't you gaslight me, Bone Man. Don't you gaslight me, Skeleton Man.
Yeah, no. The Thrayle took my gods. He put them in a bag. He threw them in the shed.
I was going to say specifically a burlap sack.
Yeah, specifically a sack.
So what when you say you believe in ghosts, what is a ghost?
It's so hard for me even to define it out loud, which is why it's like so hard for me when we go down this line of questioning, because when I say a ghost, I'm not like talking Ghostbusters type, like apparitions or it's more so I guess the best way I could put it is a manifestation of a loved one that lingers after passing. That I believe to be more so than just in my head.
What form do they normally take?
That's a very good question. It's like, oh god, I don't want to use the word energy because I hate that word so much.
Yeah, it does get hijacked a bit.
Yeah. It's like a buzz around you. It doesn't take like a physical form.
So how can the supernatural interact with the natural?
That's also the thing. I don't necessarily think that they have to interact.
Then how would you be detecting it?
Through feelings that you get, through signs that you see, through just a lot of it is feeling based, right?
Sure, yeah. Are your feelings a good indicator for truth?
No, God, no.
Is it possible that your mind is allowing you to cope with feelings of loss by giving you sensations or scents, things like that?
Oh, it's entirely possible.
Does that make it less meaningful?
No. If anything, that's really cool that the body does that.
Well, have you heard of phantom limbs?
I have heard of phantom limbs.
I'll let that marinate for a minute. That's where I'll go with that. And if anybody else has a question, you're welcome to interject.
I get what you're saying, though. Like, the mind is extremely powerful. And in the same
Mhm.
sense of we can
Not
feel a
not
hand.
just that, but if you look into neuroscience, the brain acts as sort of a top-down processor. We predict things, and when we see things that we don't expect, that's when we're surprised and we pay more attention. Otherwise, everything is just business as usual.
It's also true.
And if that's the case, when you're thinking, for example, I both of my parents are at ghost practice, so sometimes I miss my mother. And when I think about her, sometimes I smell her.
Yeah. But
And I
also
don't
on
think,
that same on that same feeling though, to me it's like, if it is a manifestation of my brain, does that make it less real? Because if it's real to me and my reality is what is driving my existence.
that's a good question. I wonder, so does it matter if you're hallucinating something or not if it feels real?
To the person, no, it doesn't. Because a lot of our perception is a lot of our reality is based on what we perceive.
Mm-hmm. I can see what you mean.
Like to us, like to anybody outside of that person, yes, the hallucination, it matters that the hallucination isn't real. But to the person experiencing it,
right, and something can feel real and be interpreted as real, regardless of whether it is or not.
right.
Do you think the distinction matters, like overall?
Overall, yes. Like like, because obviously when you go down that line, you can get into issues of like mental health and things like that. And you know, certain perceptions can become extremely harmful to not only yourself but to those around you. But I think when it comes to like, you know, believing in ghosts or things like that, having that little bit of woo is not necessarily harmful to you or the people around you.
When you say you believe in ghosts, well, I'll just clarify and use something like spirits. Do you also believe in things like demons and angels, or
No. I view
do
those
you?
as primarily biblical, and I reject that.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Do you attach any sort of positive or negative valence to either of them?
No, I
To
don't.
any spirits?
I mean, other than the positive or negative connotation you would have tied to that person whilst they were alive, no. Because to me, it's a manifestation of the person. So if they were a bad person, then sure.
What would you say makes a person?
What would I say makes a person?
Mm-hmm. Since you said that the spirit is a manifestation of the person.
Ooh, that's a good question. I would have to think on that a little bit to give you an exact answer of what all encompasses what I think a person is.
Maybe I can offer a line of questioning that will sort of help you differentiate.
Sure.
Is a person their body, or are they separate?
Partially. I think that is one of the aspects of a person.
Where's the line of separation?
Because if you have, to me, right, if you have just a body laying in front of you and that person has passed away, they are, that is their physical being, sure, but it is not, you know, their personality. It is not their
Where is somebody's personality?
on the mind.
Okay, where's the mind?
In the body, but it's not currently getting those electrical impulses fired to it to allow that to be outwardly expressed. So I'm not able, I can't differentiate the personality of two bodies, right?
So I guess my question comes to, if you say that the mind and the personality are in the body, when there's no more body, why would there be any more mind?
I don't know. Good question.
Another question, have you heard the name Phineas Gage?
I have not.
Phineas Gage was a foreman in the 1850s, if I recall correctly, who, while on the job, had a steel spike go through his head. And it went through one of the parts of his brain that controlled for...
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I have heard of that. I guess I just forgot the name.
It went through his head so quickly that it cauterized, so it burned off. And he actually lived through this. And his personality was completely changed. So I'm just wondering, if the personality is separate from the body, how does that happen?
That's a very good point.
Alternatively, if we want to go a little more modern, have you ever known anybody with dementia or Alzheimer's?
Yes, I'm an LPN and I've worked in memory care.
Have you ever heard their family members describe conversations with them as pieces of them going at a time?
Oh, yeah.
If a spirit is one single thing, how can a piece of it disappear at a time?
That's also a really, really good point.
And I'm not here to try to dismantle what you're thinking.
No, you're giving me valid
questions.
things to think about. I don't have necessarily responses for them because they're just things I have not thought about.
That's what we're here for. We're here to help. Does anybody else have any specific questions for her?
Are Cat and Hammy even here?
That is a question, isn't it?
I'm sorry, what happened?
Fibonacci's running away with ghosts to his shed. He apparently has one too.
I do. I'm sorry. For ghosts, I'm very good at bringing them into the shed.
It's in his shed. Thrayle has the god shed. Fibonacci has the ghost shed.
There's ghosts in here too.
I'm sure there are.
I thought we had ghosts in shells. Fibonacci.
What would be remaining? And what kind of reality are you envisioning where these remainders wander?
I don't necessarily understand the question. Can you reword it?
What is the
purpose?
Not just the purpose, but what is
I think I'm following. So I think what Thrayle's asking is, what does the structure of the world look like for you if there's this sort of other thing where there are disembodied people going about their business?
To explain how I view it, I don't view like there to be an other necessarily plane of existence. It was always, these what I describe as ghosts were on the same, level as we were, in the same reality, in the same corporal realm as us. They were just, not able to be seen. I viewed it the same way I can't see oxygen molecules.
Well, so then my question would be, we can measure oxygen. We can check that here through spectroscopy, as well as through air pressure and all sorts of different things. How do you measure spirit? Is there a particular, wavelength through what material? Like what exactly is a spirit?
I mean, this is gonna sound so cheese, but there are like certain electromagnetic fields that are given off in other places. I always kind of looked at that as a maybe it's some sort of,
as some part of an electromagnetic field.
Kind of, yeah. I sound like I'm talking straight out of Ghost Adventures, but
a little. It's okay. So, what sort of books have you read on this, if any? Or is this more just a sort of feeling that you...
Yeah, I never really delved deep into researching ghosts. It was more of a feeling. I haven't read any books on it.
What would be the purpose of there being ghosts?
That's a good question. I don't necessarily think I ever thought that there had to be a purpose. If there was one, perhaps it would be, that lingering care for somebody keeps you tied to the world, and you have the people that you loved or loved you kind of looking after you after they pass.
Would it be less meaningful if instead of there being an energy signature left in the universe, that there was a pattern of them imprinted in your brain?
I don't think it would necessarily be less meaningful. It's just there would be less comfort to it.
Is it less comforting because of a want to be in connection with that person again, or is it potentially an extension of, the sort of finality of the alternative?
Both. I'm fully aware that a lot of this probably also stems from my own fear of, passing away. That's the best way I can say it on TikTok. I'm firmly aware, and I'm scared of that, and my brain may be coming up with things to kind of tie that there is something beyond when my heart takes its last beat.
Well,
because I don't have a belief in an afterlife, you know. So
no, that's fair. So let's take a step back then. If this is it, let's say that was true, would it be more or less meaningful to live life while we have it?
more. Definitely more. I would view that as you have to do the most with the very limited time that you have, which is, you know, I think is true regardless, but
And would you say that being a part of somebody's memories after things do eventually, because, you know, unfortunately they do eventually end,
right.
would you say that that would be worthwhile?
Yes. I think having a lasting positive impact on the people around you is something you should absolutely strive for.
If you stopped thinking of ghosts as a fundamental part of reality or as a probable thing that you experience, would that change fundamentally how you look at the world?
I mean, yeah, it would. I would stop. Sorry, give me 1 second.
It's okay. Take your time.
No, I was drinking juice and it was like making my throat scratchy. So it would fundamentally change the way I view the world just because it would take an aspect of what I viewed away. Do I think it would necessarily be a bad change? No. But I think anytime you take a belief away or add a belief, it's going to fundamentally change the way you view the world. You know, I view life differently now than when I was a polytheist. Sorry, that seemed like a really semantic answer.
No, that's all right. It's a matter of you being able to articulate how you understand it. I don't think that's a bad thing. And again, this is about you being able to, you know, ask yourself questions. It sounds like you're really taking the process seriously, and that's wonderful. Do you think it's important to believe things that are true?
You know, Thrayle has asked me this question before. Yes.
It's a good question.
It is. It is a very good question. Yes, I do. But I also see the the harm reduction in, you know, like for instance, white lies. So on the whole, yes, I think it is important to believe things that are true. However, I am taking mental health into account with that. And, you know, would I think it would be bad for, you know, a parent to tell their child a white lie to protect their feelings or things of that nature? No. So I can't give you a definitive 100% yes or no on that.
I think that's a reasonable answer. If it was a matter of whether you should believe things that are true.
I also believe that for myself, you know. I think just knowing myself, my emotions can be fragile sometimes. And if somebody were to occasionally tell me a small white lie to protect my feelings in a certain instance, I don't necessarily think that would be a bad thing. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, yes. I get where you're going. Is the narrative of the, let's say you do tell yourself some little white lies here and there, is that important for your mental health, do you think?
It entirely depends. I think sorry, I'm trying to find a way to word this. I think that yes, it can be. You know, if I sorry, it's hard to come up with an example for this to express exactly how I feel on it.
It's all right. If it's the first time you're addressing it, it's completely understandable that it would be difficult to articulate.
So, say I got into a new hobby, right? And I wasn't really good at this hobby. You know, we'll use like crocheting, for example. I crocheted a plushie, and just on the base of scale of this, the crocheting was bad. It was really horribly done. But somebody looked at it and said, that's really good. And that inspired me to keep going with it and improve and keep doing it, so I got better. And that overall experience helped me progress in that situation. I think in that sense, even though I believed a lie that, you know, that was good, it led to a positive outcome.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like what you're trying to express, and please correct me if I get this wrong, is there are certain things that you can believe that can impact the way that you do things. And whether these things are true or not, or quote unquote, right or not, has little bearing on whether or not they're useful.
Right. In certain circumstances, yes.
I think I got down to what you meant. I can understand why that would be a position you would take.
It's so hard for me to take black and white answers on big questions like this, because I view the world with a lot of nuance. And I believe that almost any question you ask has a lot of nuance to it. Especially when you get into big questions, you know, about overarching themes of life. It's hard to put them into one specific box.
I tend to agree about
You're cutting out a little bit there, Kat.
Yeah.
That's not something people often.
Can you try that again, Kat? We didn't quite catch that.
Can believing things that.
Yeah, your connection's really bad, Cat.
The vatness that is Cat has
Yeah.
gotten way out of hand.
I was going to say, we can hear you currently gasping for air inside of your vat, Cat, so we need maybe a little bit of a change of scenery so that we can hear you a bit clearer.
I feel like Cat in a Vat is a new Dr. Seuss book.
It certainly should be.
Cat in a Hat in a Vat?
I don't know about the hat part.
Who ever heard of a cat in a hat? Seriously.
Sounds
Nonsense. Mustard? Now let's not be silly.
I think this is the longest time I've seen the what the fuck screens turn up.
well, I mean, we are questioning a little bit of your basis of reality.
It's okay. He put it up for me earlier.
I do like this one.
Don't mean to segue the line.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
It's forced. I gotta know what led to that.
There's one for nearly everything. And what there isn't, there's a list, a growing list.
I was going to say, it's the ever-expanding list. The one thing that is consistent is sandwich.
What the fuck is energy? What the fuck is truth? What the fuck is reality? What the fuck is sandwich?
Yeah. Everything is sandwich.
Oh, makes sense.
What the fuck is sandwich needs a more, like, regal sound. Like, what the fuck is sandwich?
I still stand by the previous request to switch what the fuck is sandwich to what the fuck is sandwich.
But then that would have a more country, like, what the fuck is sandwich?
Yeah.
Why am I being told to tell Thrayle that the world is a snowman? And that I believe the world is a snowman.
Gee, I wonder who. Thanks, Magnus.
Wait, what did Magnus do?
Reminded me that he thinks the world is a snowman. Oh, that's not the one I was looking for.
I do request that we have one, Thrayle. It's one specific one we should have up here. No, not that one.
No.
It's one that you haven't created yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I need a what the fuck is the game?
No.
No.
Because you've all lost it.
Nah. If you don't already have a WTF is quantum, I think that's useful as well. Because people love to turn that into woo.
Like quantum physics?
Just quantum anything. They like to attach the word quantum to it.
Surprise, surprise.
There was this guest we had on here. There it is. There was this guest we had on here once that was like, Thrayle might remember. It was a guy who was like, he had a lab in his garage and he was like looking at particles and the way that they casted shadows or something like that. I don't remember. Oh God, I wish I could remember the entire premise behind it, but it was like the amount of like light or shadow that like certain particles gave off. It was such a
Was
weird...
it the guy who believed? Was he like ultimately just appealing to nothing as he sat in his garage?
Essentially, yeah.
Looking at the shadows.
Yeah, that guy.
Like a French accent.
No, I don't think this guy was French. One of these days I'll go back in the Discord and I'll like ping you to the messages about it. I like that guy. I wonder what happened to that guy.
He just had a stutter, and he was stuttering when he said we.
This is how Hammy inspired 2 what the fuck screens.
Two is pretty impressive.
Yes! The flying pigs.
And then there's
Oh yeah. There we go. I've got 2 of them because I'm in there.
though I am running out of space, so I may need to dial it back to just this one. I do like this one better.
Let me see the other one. Oh yeah, that other one was better.
I was going to say, if you're meant to be Angie, I think the first one's better.
Like, I get the sentiment behind this because those are devils on there, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be when hell is over. But we got the frozen tundra in the background, so yeah.
You have what the fuck are demons?
No, but I do have 2 ideas ready for that. I don't know if I should go with traditional demons or something more like D&D aberration kind of demons.
I have a lot of people. I'm mostly a comment lurker, and a lot of people come in here and say that you're summoning demons.
I have been accused of summoning demons. I've also been accused of being the devil, being Lucifer, Satan. I think those are all supposed to be the same character.
Yeah.
When you're accused of being the devil, do you ever say everything's the devil with you, Mama?
No, I don't quote Waterboy at people.
Foosball's a devil.
Yeah, I've been accused of being AI, of being an alien, of being.
How many times a week do you get accused of altering your voice? That's what I wonder, because it seems
More
to be
like how many
constant.
times a night, yeah.
How long do you think it'll take before there's an organized religion based around AI?
Nobody around here thinks their voice.
Great, Hammy.
Oh, goodness.
Is there?
I probably wouldn't need a voice changer to do that one.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
would imagine that's
Not
within your
a
range.
voice changer, Thrayle.
I probably wouldn't need a voice changer to do that one either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would imagine that's probably within your range.
Would you need one to do this one?
God.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that one. That one sounds like it hurts.
It would. Unless you had a lot of helium.
Oh, I can sing Tiny
I just
Tim
had
if
the
you give me
voice
some
changer
helium.
that made my voice higher as well.
How are you doing that on a phone? Like Thrayle, I can understand being able to do it because he uses his computer. But
I have a soundboard.
I'm not using a computer. I'm using an iPad with I do have a mixer and a soundboard with a microphone, but I'm not using the voice changer. I could use the voice changer. It sounds really, really weird.
it does. I've heard it.
Yeah.
I have a question for the questioner. It's nothing serious. When do we get our next dose of Vogue on poetry?
Vogon poetry. Oh, that's right. I did do a Vogon poem. It was so messy. I mean, tonight's selection, it's already 4 in the afternoon. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I do need to wrap up the live. Today's selection is fairly vague, and I don't know if it's Vogon. It's vague.
We'll go vague on then. That's fine.
It's Vagon. It's less direct. It's more imagery, and we'll see what happens. It might be a little prattling.
I need to look at the manual to figure out how to turn off the voice changer without having to turn off the sound board altogether.
My understanding is that you just have to hold it down.
And then it turns off.
Well, look, there's a voice changer button and it cycles through the different voices. And I have yet to figure out, because it doesn't have, when you cycle through it, once you get to the very end, it just goes all the way back to the beginning. And there's no power button that says, like, power off for it. So
Is it a physical button?
Yeah, it's a physical button. I just have yet to figure out what I need to hit. I gotta look through the manual to figure it out.
Hold the button down, that's all. You just hold the voice changer button down.
I'll do that right now. Hold on, wait.
I turn it on. Okay.
Now, and nothing's happening.
That's weird.
And then
I'm hearing myself echo through your voice changer.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Hold on. I have to hit. There was a time I hit this other button. Let me see if that works.
We very quickly went right back.
Hello, can you hear me? Is it normal now?
I don't know what normal is, Hammy. There's still a big echo.
There you go. What the fuck is normal?
I think there's really only there's
Should be fine now.
No choice.
Is that much better?
Oh god.
You're echoey, but
an echo. More like reverb. You've got reverb.
Okay, the reverb should be done with now.
I feel like I've proofread this poem like Christians read their Bible, like bits and pieces, but I assume I know the whole thing.
If it's good enough for Jeebus, it's good enough for me.
I think that's what we're going with today, because I'm kind of running out of time. I appreciate everybody for being here. It's been an off day. We kind of started late, so we ran it late. Why the hell not? But thank you for coming up and being questioned again, Rachel. As always, your answers are thoughtful and honest, and I appreciate that.
Of course.
Before she goes, can I recommend a book to her?
Sure.
What books?
There is a book called The Weird Shit of Science, if I recall correctly. And it's done by, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember his name. Alex French, I believe. Or Chris French, that's his name.
I'll check it out.
I was going to say, it's very accessible. It's not crazy wordy, so it should be very easy to get through. But it's interesting. It goes through a lot of different phenomena.
Okay. I love that kind of stuff, so I'll take a look.
Hell yeah. Well, appreciate you, Fibonacci, and appreciate you, Rachel. Thank
Happy
you
to be here.
both for the questions and the answers, and more questions. And Hammy, thank you.
As always.
Appreciate you and the echo that you brought with the voice changer. Thank you, Kat, for coming up. Sucks the Wi-Fi did what it did, but maybe you can give us a parting word that doesn't cut out. On the spot. Nope. She'll unmute right as I disconnect. Thank you, Kat. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you that stayed all the way to the end. And of course, those of you who are just wandering back because someone told you the end was nigh. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments, your questions, your taps, your shares. Thank you for helping with the gift goals. I appreciate everyone who did help with the last one. I think we had one standing. But still thank you to Candace and Cassie, to Barfing Toaster, and to Danny Grax. Thank you guys so much for helping with that goal. It never fails. We get to the end and someone requests. But if you did have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power or something like that, you were curious enough or courageous enough to question your beliefs, then look for me again tonight. Who knows, it may just be a few hours, or I may end up sleeping in and being late again. Hopefully not. Let's look for one way that you can always keep up is to check out the Discord link tree in my bio or in the Batcolyte's bio. Either one will take you there. You just want to make sure that when you get there, you read the rules. And if you can agree to those, then you should find out that you're not alone. And if you stumble across the Venmo or the Cash App in that link tree and want to show your support that way, it is always appreciated. And as always, I really do appreciate all of you for being here, the best audience on TikTok, really the best questioners, the best, well, those of you that do believe, the best believers, the best non-believers, the best really engaging and amazing audience. And I don't think we could do that. I don't think we could even discover that that was possible without the mods. So a big W for all the mods. Thank you for everything that you do, keeping this place as civil and respectful as you do. And I think there's really only one thing left. shape once crowned the ceiling of all thought, a final cause that pinned the stars in place, each wonder traced to something higher caught, a finger pressed against the cosmic face. This story held because it had no seams, no room where doubt could breathe or wander in. The dark was folded neatly into schemes, and mystery was framed as disciplined. But pressure finds the cracks it needs to speak. Not rage, not revolt, just wait and time. A question bent the frame and made it creak. If all is held, why fear a single why? The answer rang too smooth, too perfectly round. A door that closed before the knock was heard. A claim that cannot stumble on the ground moves more like screaming than like a tested word. So the grip loosened, not in loss, but scale, as though vast wings were shifting overhead. The floor remained. The dark did not turn pale. No voice appeared. No cosmic truth was said. What remained was not stacked as stone, but like a lattice, tension without will, a structure felt, not spoken, not alone, that bends, allows, and never must be still. Here, not knowing becomes a steadier ground than borrowed names engraved in borrowed stories. The silence listens better than the sound of answers trained to never ask for more. If there is care behind the unfurling mind, it hides in depth, not rule, not crowned decree. The truest reverence is leaving space inside for what unfolds without demanding what it be. And on that note, until the next time we meet in darkness and seek wisdom together, I love you all. Take care.